Hi everyone, welcome back to Strolls and Polls. And this week we are going to be talking about Zestimates. So we had you do a poll on what your average rent is right now, because that's probably realistically where you're looking at for a mortgage. So I'm gonna pass the throne to Mom to talk about Zestimates.
So first of all, I look like I'm pushing a walker, and I'm not.
She's back.
There's Lily. Yes. So and
Oh my
Braylon
gosh.
is not cooperating in a stroller, so she is along
she's
for the
here?
ride over there. But anyway, so Zestimates are interesting. So is the rental approximation that they give you, and because our mortgage payments, and again, this is why we preach on talking to a lender. We've got really good ones we can send you to, but your mortgage has so many factors. It's how much money you're putting down. It's your interest rate, which, by the way, the feds are meeting tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a big day to see what happens, if they go up, if they go down, depending on the new guy in charge. But, and then it also depends on your credit. So those three factors play a big role in what your mortgage payment's going to be.
It also doesn't include your insurance and your property tax.
Right. So that's why it's just super important, and not to necessarily pay attention to what Zillow is quoting you for your monthly mortgage payment. Also, Zillow's really interesting. If there's a lot of activity going on around you with similar homes to yours, then it might not be too far off. However, if you've been in your home for 15, 20 years, then Zillow also doesn't know if you remodeled your kitchen. It doesn't know if you finished your basement. It doesn't know, anything that you've done on the inside. So you might have 3 neighbors that have sold, but maybe their house wasn't as up to date, or it could be the other way around. They could have been really updated, and you think that your house is like here, but you haven't done an update in 18 years, and I am not judging, because it took us a long time to update our primary house that we had for 18 years. So anyway, there's just a lot of factors that go into it, but all the more to have a conversation and talk to us about talking to a lender.
And I think it's kind of fair to say that Zillow is like the equivalent of like an overthinker, but doesn't have all the facts. So if you are looking at a house and you're watching the Zestimate of the overall price or the estimated monthly mortgage, it's probably changing every time you look at it. So
or every time something closes. And what if you have a neighbor that had to sell? And that's not going to help if they ended up selling low. So, and then the other thing that's really interesting about Zillow is, I've seen it happen with my own 2 eyes, is just for example, let's say that I think Lily's wanting to participate in this Strolls and Polls today. But anyway, let's just say, yes, hi. Let's just say that the year's estimate's showing $650. But we come and we see that you've done a ton of updates, and your basement's finished, and your yard is beautiful, and all that jazz. Hi. And we decide to list it at $700. Guess what happens to your Zestimate right after we list? Yes.
does it go up or does it go down?
It goes to $700. It matches what we just put it on the market for. So I always tell people to just be cautious about the information and fact checking with Zillow.
Yes, at the end of the day, it's called a Zestimate for a reason. It is not a firm number. It is not, hey, this is what Zillow said. So be cautious, pay attention, and ask questions. Ask questions, and you never know until you know hard numbers from your lender.
And enjoy this beautiful weather.
Yes, get out, get your Strolls and Polls in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.